Not all pain is an enemy. Some pain comes to unlock the doors we've long sealed within ourselves. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman, someone just like many others. She lived in a modern city, had a job, friends, social media, and those quick, fleeting conversations that light up a screen. Each morning, she woke up, brushed her teeth, got dressed, went to work, and tried to survive another day. Nothing particularly bad happened. But nothing truly stirred her heart either. Everything seemed right, yet something felt wrong. People around her said, "Chin up, don't overthink. You've got everything, haven't you?" But inside her was a nameless void. A quiet, hazy feeling, as if someone had closed the door to her heart from the inside. She started losing sleep. There were nights she cried without knowing why. And some mornings, as her eyes opened, a sadness like a soft July rain seeped into her chest. She went to see a doctor. The diagnosis could be mild anxiety disorder, maybe early-stage depression. "Take this medication, you'll be fine." She tried it. It helped, a little. But then, she found herself back at the same place. At some point in life, perhaps everyone feels this way. A sense of emptiness without knowing why. It doesn't have to be clinical depression. There doesn't need to be a diagnosis. Sometimes, it's simply the feeling of not belonging in this world. No longer finding meaning in the things that once brought joy. Not knowing where to go, because nowhere truly feels like home. If you've ever felt this, you are not alone. Don't turn away too quickly when you touch sadness. Perhaps, it's not an enemy, but the first signal calling you back inward. If this message has touched some quiet place within your soul, leave a comment or share it with someone you love. Because who knows, they too might be silently carrying a hollow space, just as you once did. And if you'd like to keep listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart, hit subscribe so you won't miss the stories to come. Journeys back to the self, to healing, and to awakening. In the next part, we'll take a closer look at depression. Not as a flaw in the system, but as a sacred signal. A deep invitation. Listen. Come home. 1. Depression doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to awaken you. Depression is not the end. It's the first signal that something deep within you is sighing, longing to be heard, to be held, and to be brought home. Small blue diamond. The first feeling of depression isn't pain, it's numbness. You still wake up. You still brush your teeth, wash your face. You still say, "I'm fine," when someone asks. But inside you, there's a void. It's not sadness. It's not anger. It's the absence of feeling. It's when you no longer know why you're alive. When nothing feels worth the effort. When you can't distinguish day from night, hope from despair, future from past. Small blue diamond. But depression doesn't come to kill you. It comes as a knock at the door of your soul. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" try asking, "Who in me needs to be heard? What is my soul trying to say through this numbness?" Depression may be the cry of your inner child. The child who was never told it had the right to feel sad. It may be the part of you that once dreamed of painting, singing, playing, but was told to study, to grow up, to toughen up and survive. It may be a dream you buried alive, because poetry doesn't pay the bills. It may be a fear that no one ever saw, a feeling that said, "Even if I'm here, no one truly cares." Small blue diamond. In Buddhism, nothing is meaningless, not even suffering. Depression is not just a biological mishap. It is a karmic signal of the mind, revealing an attachment, a wound, a mental formation that has yet to be transformed. Just as fire does not burn on its own but arises from conditions, so does suffering. It is a flame fed by the winds of ignorance. Samyukta Agama Sutra. Depression is the moment you become disconnected from your trust in life, from the light within you. It is a consequence, not a disease, of living too long for others, while forgetting yourself. Small blue diamond. So, how do you listen to this signal? Try to imagine your soul as an ancient house, one you've lived in for years but never truly paused to explore. Depression is when darkness starts leaking from the locked rooms. You can rush to turn on all the lights, tape it all up, pretend nothing's wrong. Or, you can gently open each door, step inside, and light a single candle. And then, you will hear something. It's not the darkness trying to swallow you. It's the light within you, inviting you home. Zen teacher Jack Kornfield, one of the pioneers who brought mindfulness and Buddhist meditation to the West, once said, "Healing comes when we learn to hold ourselves with loving awareness." Healing doesn't mean erasing depression. Healing means being present with it, without judging yourself as wrong. Remember, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not alone. You are simply passing through the long night of the soul. And this may be the very moment you learn to hold your own hand, for the first time. Not needing anyone to rescue you. Not needing anyone to understand you. Only needing you to show up. When you are silent long enough, you will hear your soul whisper. And what it says may move you to tears. But it might also return you to yourself. Two, Buddhism sees suffering as a guiding light. This is suffering. Look directly at it. The Buddha, the first noble truth. Small orange diamond. Suffering is not the enemy. Suffering is the guide. In modern life, we're taught that happiness is the goal, and suffering is a system failure. When someone is sad, we rush to tell them to stay positive. When someone is anxious, we say, "Stop overthinking." When we feel lost, we immediately try to escape, to compensate, to do something, anything, just so we don't have to feel the pain. But Buddhism doesn't teach us to erase suffering. On the contrary, the Buddha said, "Suffering is the first truth. And unless we see it, we cannot arrive at any other truth." Suffering is not a mistake. It's not a punishment. It is the very first gate that anyone seeking awakening must walk through. Small orange diamond. Suffering is a mirror, reflecting where we've lost our way. When you feel depressed, anxious, unsettled, don't push it away as if it doesn't have the right to exist. Try looking into it, like looking into a mirror. Have you been living too far from your true values? Have you stopped saying no to the things that drain you? Have you worn a mask of positivity for so long that you've forgotten the face beneath it? Suffering is an invitation to return. It's a bell knocking on the doors of your heart, doors you may have closed long ago. Don't be afraid. Because behind that pain is light, if only you're willing to stay long enough. Small orange diamond. Buddhism doesn't promise you happiness, it offers insight into suffering. In a world obsessed with toxic positivity, people tend to avoid talking about sadness. They believe, if I suffer, I must be weak. If I feel anxious, I must be wrong. But the Buddha never taught us to be strong. He simply said, "Know there is suffering in the mind, then know there is suffering in the mind." Satipatthana Sutta. What does this mean? It means that simply recognizing your emotions, not rejecting them, not escaping them, not suppressing them, is enough to plant the seed of mindfulness and healing. Small orange diamond. A story, the man who ran from sadness. There was once a man who fell into depression after losing his job. But he refused to accept it. He hit the gym. He traveled. He posted smiling photos on social media. And yet, every night, the emptiness grew a little larger. One day, he attended a meditation retreat and was asked a very simple question. When was the last time you let yourself be sad, without needing a reason? He broke down in tears. For the first time in years, he allowed himself to simply sit with his sadness, like greeting an old friend. And strangely, when he stopped resisting it, the sadness softened, and it spoke to him. Small Orange Diamond Buddhism teaches that suffering does not exist independently, it arises from conditions. No pain falls from the sky for no reason. It is the result of what we've believed, done, or suppressed. This exists, so that exists. This ceases, so that ceases. Dependent origination, the Buddha. So if suffering is present, don't ask, how do I get rid of it? Ask instead, what in me, in my life, is calling for transformation? Small Orange Diamond, your mind is the soil. Suffering is the seed cracking open to grow. Just as a seed cannot sprout without breaking open, the mind cannot grow without first cracking. Depression, insecurity, and emotional wounds are not things to be treated. They are the first fractures in the old shell, making space for something new to be born. Every crack is a thin beam of light, a place where sunlight begins to seep in. Small Orange Diamond, let us close this section with the Buddha's words. Amid this life of turmoil, we can still find a path through suffering, by wisdom, mindfulness, and compassion. If you're suffering, don't be so quick to blame yourself. Light a candle. Sit down. Listen. And believe this suffering has meaning. This suffering can be transformed. This suffering is light leading the way. If you've made it this far, and you're still reading, perhaps your heart is quietly nodding. Share this video as a gift for someone still walking in the dark, not yet knowing that they've been carrying the light all along. Three, we are the loneliest society in history, and it's time to return to the inner tribe. You can live among hundreds of people, yet still not truly be seen. Small Orange Diamond, loneliness is on the rise, the latest evidence. In 2024, global surveys revealed that 24 to 33% of adults, nearly 1 in 3, frequently feel lonely. In the US, 2024, 20% of adults reported feeling very lonely the previous day. According to the APA, 30% of people experience loneliness at least once a week, with 10% feeling it every single day. In the UK, 2023 to 2024, about 7% of adults said they are always or often lonely, while 27% reported feeling lonely some of the time. Small Orange Diamond, loneliness harms both body and mind. According to the World Health Organization, loneliness is as damaging to health as smoking, and it increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and dementia. In the UK, people with poor health are 6 times more likely to feel lonely than those in good health. Young Americans, ages 18 to 34, 30% feel lonely daily or several times a week, and 59% report negative mental health effects from loneliness. Small Orange Diamond, we're living in the era of disconnection. Despite smart homes and social media, our emotional networks are shrinking. The US government has declared loneliness a public health threat. In the UK, the Minister for Loneliness remains in office, as of 2024, to address this social crisis at its root. Small Orange Diamond Buddhism sees loneliness as a signal for healing. In Buddhist teachings, we are not born to live in isolation. The Anguttara Nikaya states, the path of goodness begins with noble friendship and wholesome companionship. Meditation is not a retreat into isolation, it is a delicate bridge between the inner world and the outer one. Loneliness, in the light of meditation, is like a bell ringing. You have strayed from the way home. Small Orange Diamond, a story, the rise of a lonely generation. A 2024 Gallup survey found that 25% of Gen Z and millennial men in the US are among the loneliest groups. Why? They grew up immersed in social media, gaming, and pornography, where instant dopamine replaced real connection. Toxic masculinity taught them men don't show emotion. So they stopped seeking connection. Now they stand in the noise, but no one hears them. Small Orange Diamond Buddhism is meditation in presence for others. As Tara Brach says, being present for others is also a form of meditation. If you feel alone, find a new tribe, a meditation group, a book club, a yoga class, or simply a coffee with someone who truly cares. Small Orange Diamond, the way you reconnect, is the way you return to yourself. Acknowledge your loneliness, not with shame, but as a true part of you. Create meaningful gatherings, not for numbers, but as places where the heart can rest. Try group meditation, loving kindness practices, listening to others' stories as if they were echoes of your own. Small Orange Diamond closing part 3, a sincere invitation. If you're reading these words, maybe somewhere within you is a quiet voice whispering, I want to connect. I want to be heard. Leave a comment. Drop a red heart. Say hello. Even that small act can be a beginning. If you know someone who's lost, share this video. Together, we can become a tribe of quiet presence, empathy, and understanding. For, what are you feeding your body, and what is your soul hungry for? Not every hunger calls for food. Some hungers come from the soul. Buddha balance. Small Orange Diamond, are you feeding your mind with mental junk food? We all know about junk food, fast, salty, sugary meals that make our bodies sick. But few realize there is something even more harmful. Junk values. Like chasing success just to feel loved. Living for comparison and external validation. Existing just to be prettier, better, more famous. And then, each night, we ask ourselves, why am I doing everything right, but still not happy? Small Orange Diamond, when junk values become your main diet, the soul starves for meaning. Instagram gives you 3 seconds of satisfaction. KPIs give you a week of pride. A good job text gives you a minute of joy. But emptiness always returns. You begin to feel like a shadow of yourself. Busy, but unsure why. Successful, but undeserving. Loved, but still unworthy. Small Orange Diamond Buddhism doesn't teach us to achieve, but to let go and see clearly. The Buddha didn't just give up a throne. He gave up everything untrue. He didn't chase fame, wealth, or appearance, because he clearly saw. Nothing outside of you can ever fill the emptiness within if you are not truly present with yourself. Small Orange Diamond, the key question, what is your soul truly hungry for? Maybe it's a look that says, I see you, without judgment. Maybe it's space to breathe, or a peaceful sleep, free from the constant pull. Maybe it's one still moment to ask, who am I? Small Orange Diamond, so, what is true nourishment for the mind? The Buddha taught, the mind is like soil. Wisdom is the water. Discipline is the plow. Whatever you plant, you shall harvest. So plant mindfulness instead of reactivity, compassion instead of competition, contentment instead of endless hunger, truth instead of illusion. Small Orange Diamond closing reflection, you don't need to be more, you only need to return. You don't need to be more successful, be more beautiful, be more skilled, be more okay. You only need to take a deep breath, sit with yourself, and say, I hear myself now, and I will not abandon me again. If you're still here at the end of this video, thank you for walking this real and honest path with us. Maybe not everyone understands you, but here we do. Because we, too, have been lost. We, too, have walked through long nights. If this video touched you, share it with someone who may need a quiet whisper of awakening. Leave a comment, even just a red heart. That single act might be the thread that brings someone back from crisis. Just as you once found your way home. A final loving message. Happiness is not a high emotion. Happiness is when you no longer have to run, because you've already come home.